in a vast forest lived a powerful lion. He was the protector of all animals, as well as forest. Even when wild dogs and wolves chased the young calves, he drove them away. When danger crept close at night, he stood watch. Because of him, the forest slept in peace. Everywhere he went, the animals whispered, "The forest stands because of the lion." At first, those words made him proud. Then, they became his duty. Eventually, they became his identity. The lion stopped showing weakness. He stopped asking for help. After all, mountains don't complain. Mountains don't get tired. They just stand. Or at least, that's what everyone believed. Then, a terrible dry season arrived. Food and water vanished. One scorching afternoon, the lion stepped into a hidden hunter's trap. Metal teeth tore into his leg. He roared in agony. He fought, pulled, and struggled until the trap finally broke. He escaped, but the damage was done. The wound ran deep. For the first time in his life, the king of the forest could barely walk. He lay beneath a tree, growing weaker by the day. The animals saw him. They passed by every single day. Some looked sad. Some stopped to stare. But then, they kept walking. No one brought him food. No one brought him water. The lion waited. Surely someone would remember everything he had done. But the forest remained silent. As the nights grew colder, a painful question broke his heart. Did I spend my whole life protecting creatures who don't even care if I die? Then, one evening, he heard slow footsteps. Out from the shadows walked a tiny tortoise carrying a small piece of fish. It was barely enough for himself. The tortoise stopped, broke the fish in half, and placed one piece in front of the giant lion. The lion was confused. The tortoise sat down and said quietly, "They do not hate you. They simply do not know." The lion stared at him. The tortoise continued, "You spent your whole life solving every problem and fighting every danger. You taught them that you were a mountain, and people do not ask a mountain if it is tired." At that moment, tears filled the lion's eyes, not because of the wound in his leg, but because for the first time in his life, someone finally understood. By pretending to be unbreakable, he had accidentally taught the world that he needed no one. He had built his own prison of loneliness. That night, the great lion lowered his head and wept, not as a king, but simply as someone tired. Here is the truth we often see in our lives. The people who love you cannot support a side of you they never get to see. If you always pretend you are fine, people will assume you never break. If you always carry the weight alone, people will think you prefer it that way. Real strength is not pretending you have no wounds. Real strength is being brave enough to say, "I need help," because even mountains need rain. And even the strongest lions need a friend,